Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back into my channel. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about SSH, because this lab configuration that we're going to have at the end of this lecture is to configure secure passwords in SSH. So they're going to book the Cisco search guide for the CCNP/CCIE um 350-41, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 350-41 official search guide. So you could have this book. I'm going to leave a link of this book on the description page on each of these videos. So let me not wasting time. Let's go ahead and just have a brief view of SSH. So what we prepare here is to understand the SSH encryption and connection process. So SSH, or secure shell, is a secure protocol and most common way of safely administrating remote server using a number of encryption technologies. So SSH provides a mechanism for establishing a cryptographical secure connection between two parties, authenticating one side to the other and passing command and output back and forth. So you could read these yourself, because this article is very important for you to understand what is SSH and why we use it. So there's two type of SSH. There's understanding symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption. So I'm sorry, it's not SSH. There's two versions of SSH, is correct, but we're talking about the encryption here, which is understanding encryption, symmetric and asymmetric, and hashing. So um so here, like, in order to secure the transmission of information, SSH employ a number of different types of data manipulation techniques at various points in the transaction. So this include form of symmetrical encryption and asymmetrical. So they go the symmetrical. So the symmetrical is basically, which you would understand. So the type of encryption scheme is often called shared secret. I'm sorry. So encryption or secret share encryption. So there's typically only one single key that is used for all operation on a key, on a pair of key, where the relationship is discoverable and it's trivial to derive the opposite keys. So with all these, you can, come into this page and pause this and read them, just to understand, what are the meaning and why we use them. And so the other one is asymmetrical encryption. So you can read that yourself. Why don't we go ahead and pull up Packet Tracer and start our lab today? So first thing first is, so the configuring secure password and SSH, they go the addressing table, the devices is the router, PC, and a switch, the NFSs, the IP address, and the subnet mask, and the default gateway. So configure a basic security on the router. So configure IP addresses on the PCA. Okay. So we got to configure the IP address on PCA. That's first thing first. So don't miss this step. There we go. So the IP address on PCA is as follows. There go the subnet mask for PCA. Sorry. There go the subnet mask. Oh. Grab it. There go the subnet mask. And the default gateway is the same address with the address of the router. the default gateway. Okay. So it says configure the IP address on PCA according to the addressing table. So we done that. So now what else we got to do? So we say, after that, it says that, let's close this since we're done with it. So it says that to configure, console into the router from the terminal on the PC. So there's a difference between the command and the terminal. So we got to click on the terminal and we got to hit OK. So it says to console in. So we already in. So the first thing says, it says that we have to configure the host name on the router as RTA. So enconf t and RTA. Oh, host. So we got to hit host name RTA. So you could tell that the name of the router is changed to RTA. So we're done with this. So it says to configure the IP address on the RTA and enable the NFS. So we gotta do as we've been given. So this says on the NFS that we gotta use this gigabit 0/0. So we have to do the int and then gigabit Ethernet. Let's say 0/0. We hit enter. And now we got to give it an IP, which was this IP here. So we got to do IP address. And then if you could, yeah, so we already had it. We had that since we, oh, come on, man. Okay, so we had that. Let's just do paste since we had to type that in. And then let's grab the, sorry. So it's the same subnet. So the subnet mask. And just paste this. Okay. Then it says that we have to enable the NFS. So what that means is that to enable the NFS, you just have to open the port on the router. So it says no shutdown. So you see it says that the line port state is up. So if you will do a do show IP and BR, you would see that this is up now. So the status is up. So the administrative, it's up on the router. So what else do we do? Let's see. Now you could tell here. Now the router is all connected. Okay. So now what else we do? They say that we have to encrypt all plain text password. So to encrypt all plain text password, let's just X out one. Let's do service password encryption. So that's all that is. So service password encryption. So we got to enable. So service password encryption. So set the minimum password length to 10. So we got to do so first thing first. So encrypt all plain text password, service password encryption. So set a minimum password to 10, which is this year. We should do secret. We should do security. Security password minimum length to 10. And then now we should do enable secret. Let's call this Cisco 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I make this easy, but we could do an exclamation point just to make it hard since it's a secret password. So we hit enter. So what else we do now? So we enable the secret password. Now it says set a strong secret password of your choice. Note that choose a password that you will remember, or you will have to reset the activity if you log out of the devices. So what we gotta do here, so what we gotta do here now, it says that we have to disable the DNS lookup. So let's just go ahead and do that real quick. So let's say no IP domain, dash lookup, and then we gotta set the domain name to CCNA and case sensitive for scoring. Okay, so let's go ahead and just grab this. So let's say IP. So we should say IP domain name, and let's paste it. Okay. So now it says that to create a user of your choice with a strong encrypted password. So we got to create a user of our choice with a strong encrypted password. So now what we got to do is just do a user. Let's try that. Let's say user, which is username. So we got to do a username. Just a second, guys. Now let's do a username. Okay, so I have to close this just to make in all these my phone. Okay, so now we gotta create a username. Let's call it daughter. Oh, sorry. So username daughter and secret. And let me give it a secret as Carly 12345 and the exclamation. So now we have this. Now it asks us to create a crypto key. So we got to create a crypto key. So generate a crypto key. So the way to do that, we could do crypto, and let's do a question mark, and you will see it gives us the command, as like key, long-term key operation. So let's say key, and let's hit a question mark again. You will see it give us generate new keys, or zeros, remove keys. So let's grab generate. Then what it asks, let's say if you do a question mark again, you will see the RSA generate the RSA key. So let's just grab RSA and then hit enter. So it says here we have to do the 1024, not the 512. So let's go ahead and type in 1024 and we hit enter. So we good. Now, it says that to block anyone for 3 minutes who fail login after 4 attempts within a 2 minutes period. So let's go ahead and do that. We got to do login. Then we do block for 180, which is 180 second. So attempts, and then 4 within 120. So the 120 second I mean to say, so 120. So then they say that we have to configure all the VTY line for all the VTY line, well, the VTY line for SSH access and use the local user profile for authentication. So let's go ahead and do line VTY 04, and then we got to do transport input SSH. So we got to put SSH, and now it says that we got to use local. Let's grab, let's see. So, okay. So we get local. So login is local. And now it says to set the execution mode with a timeout for 6 minutes on the VTY line. So let's do X execution timeout. So it's 6 seconds as we've been told. And then now it says we got to save the configuration. So let's end and let's do copy, running config and startup config. So let's hit enter and enter again. So we save our file. So now it says that we have to access the command prompt on the desktop of PCA to establish an SSH connection to the router. So let's go ahead and close this, the terminal. Let's go and command prompt. Let's say we hit SSH and then we do a / and question mark and see what we get. So it gives us the SSH. It gives us the SSH thingam. So we got to do now is SSH dash minus L, and then we got to put the username, which was daughter, and the IP address of the router, which is this IP here. So let's copy it and let's paste it here. Then let's hit enter. So now it asks us for the password. If we don't remember, the password was K capital A R L I 1 2 3 4 5, and then the exclamation. So we do. So let's go enable, and now we got to put the password for the router, which was capital CISCO 1 2 3 4 5 and exclamation point. So we log into the router now. So if you say conft, now what else we do after logging in? So the second step, so we good now. Now on the second step, it says that we have to configure switch 1 with corresponding security measure. Refer to the configuration steps on the router. If you need if you need additional assistance, click on the switch 1 and select CLI. Configure the host as okay. Okay. So now let's go on the switch. Let's go on the CLI. Then what we do on the switch here. So let's go add conft and let's change the host name to SW1. That's what we've been given. Okay. So what else we do? It says configure the host name and configure the IP address on the switch. So let's say on the switch VLAN 1. So let's say VLAN. Let's say VLAN 1. So IP. So VLAN 1 IP address. So hold up. So IP address. IP address. IP address, and let's grab the IP address for the VLAN 1. That's what we've been given here. So let's grab it, copy it, paste, and let's grab the subnet mask, which was this. Let's grab the subnet mask. Then, so it's got the subnet mask. So what do we do? Oh, I forget to do, so exit out. Let's say no VLAN 1. Okay, so we should do VLAN 1. So we should do the interface. Oh, we should do interface VLAN 1. Now we should do IP address and then grab the IP address, which is this IP here. Then the default, the subnet mask. Then copy. Then enter. Now let's go ahead here. So hurry out. And then this has to enable the interface, so we have to open it. So it says no shutdown. Now you could tell that the interface is off. So let's just exit. Now what else do we do? We say that we have to configure the default gateway address. So the default gateway is the IP address. The switch doesn't really need it. The default gateway, but it's a virtual one. So let's go ahead and say IP default gateway. So let's say IP default gateway. So let's type it in, paste it, then, so we got it. So then it says that we have to disable, if I'm not mistaken, it says that we have to, it says that we have to disable all the unnecessary, all the unused port. So let's say if we have to enable all the, say do show IP interface be also, there go the port that's up. And we have, what else again? Let's hit more. So we have this port as up. So let's say from here to until up. So we have this port from this port. Oh, sorry. So here's what we have from here to here. From here to here. Come on. Okay, and then this one here. So these are all the interfaces that have to be down, that we have to shut down. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Say enter. So not on a switch, it is a good security practice to disable unused ports. One method of doing this is to simply shut down each port with the shutdown command, and this will require accessing each port individually. So there is a shortcut method for range modification for several ports at once by using the interface range command. So let's go ahead and do that. We could do interface range. We could do F0/2 -24 And then we could do a comma gigabit 0/2, right? Now if we do a do show IP and do show IP and BR, so we could see that we have all these ports, they are administratively down now. So they are down, as you could see here. It says down and down. It says all the ports are down, which was different from here. What I mean is like right there. So it says down, whereas okay. So now what else do we gotta do? So state administratively down. So what else we gotta do? Let's check. Okay, so now it says that we gotta do use the command the range. So we done that. So it says that we gotta encrypt all the plain text password. So we gotta do, let's exit out one. Let's do service service level so we gotta do we gotta do this service password encryption. So we gotta do this service password encryption, and then we have to enable a secret password. Let's give it a password the same as the one we gave earlier. So it's Cisco 12345 with exclamation point. Then we gotta do what? Set a strong password, so we have to disable the DNS server. So let's do no IP domain, no IP domain lookup, right? No IP domain lookup, so we have to set the domain name to CCNA, and we gotta use case sensitive. So let's say IP domain, IP domain name. Let's paste this. So we good. Now to say we have to create a user of your choice with a strong encryption password. So we gotta say user. Let's call it daughter again. And then let's say secret. Let's give it a password, the same password we gave to the router so that we don't forget. Carly 12345 exclamation point. So now we gotta choose you gotta create a user of your choice, user with strong password. So we gotta generate the 1024-bit RSA key. So we gotta do crypto, and then key generate RSA. Oh, let's do it again. Crypto key. No. I press this by default. So do you really want to replace? So let's say yes. So let's do the 1024. That's what we've been told. So now we good. Now, what else is saying? We have to configure all the VTY line for SSH access to use the local user profile for authentication. So now guys, here's the tricky part. Remember that the line VTY on the switch is not 04, but it's 015. On the one is 04, but the switch is 015, okay? So then, and then it says set the execution mode timeout for 6 minutes on all VTY line. So we gotta do the transport input SSH, and then the login is local. And then we gotta set the time execution mode timeout of 6 minutes on all of the line. So how about we do a question mark here just in case. So you could see there go this command, execution timeout, just in case if you forget. So let's do execution. So let's do a 6 minutes. And then we have done that. So then now, maybe all we need to do is just to save our change. Not sure if there's any other step that we missed. So it says, so now we have to save the change. Let's go ahead and save the change. Let's just end, oh, sorry, let's just end. And then let's do a copy, run in config and startup config. And then so our change is saved. So now, if we were to SSH into the VLAN on the switch by its IP address. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's go there. And then we do, let's go ahead and say, let's use the IP address of the VLAN one on the switch. Let's copy it and let's paste it here. See if we would log in. So yep. So Carly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there you go. We log into the switch. So the IP address of the switch was Cisco 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exclamation point. So there we go. We log into the switch. So to prove that, we could say show IP and show IP and BR. So we're in the switch. We're on the switch. So not sure what else we can do here just for demonstration. Now by the way, if we were to just spend just a little bit of time here to look at the SSH. So again, a symmetric encryption, the relationship of the component that encrypt and decrypt data determines whether an encryption scheme is symmetric or asymmetric. So symmetrical encryption is a type of encryption where one key can be used to encrypt messages to the opposite party and also to decrypt the message received from the other participant. So this means that anyone who holds the key can encrypt and decrypt messages to anyone else holding the key. So this type of encryption scheme is often called shared secret encryption or secret key encryption. So this is typically only a single key that is used for all operation or a pair of keys where the relationship is discoverable and it's trivial to derive the opposite key. So symmetric keys are used by SSH in order to encrypt the entire connection, contrary to that some user assume public-private asymmetrical key pair that can be created are only used for authentication, not encrypting the connection. So the symmetrical encryption allows even password authentication to be protected against snooping. So the client and the server both contribute towards establishing this key, and the resulting secret is never known to outside parties. So the secret key is created through a process known as the key exchange algorithm. So this exchange results in the server. So guys, again, I just want to put the emphasis on the importance of understanding these terminologies, not just be able to make their configuration, but to know them and be able to convey this information into somebody and make them understand too as well. So again, thank you so very much for following along. Stay tuned for another lab configuration. I'll see you in the next lab. Thank you. Bye-bye. Um, yep.